Welcome to a strange and distant land where no topic is too unusual. During each episode, we will dive into the depths of the underground metal scene, walk the untold lines of conspiracy theories, explore the minds of some interesting individuals. This broadcast is hosted by Jake Munson, vocalist of Postmortal Possession, seeker of the unknown, and sci-fi enthusiast. We'd like to send our gratitude to those tuning in this evening, so settle in and buckle up. You are now listening to The Munson Project.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I appreciate you guys tuning in for the very first actual episode of The Munson Project. Once again, I apologize for not getting this episode out sooner. I had some technical difficulties, but it's all handled. So today is a very special guest, and he's the man behind the band Carnifloor. He's the strings in Korpse. And he's a man with many talents, and he's my friend, and I was really excited to actually sit down and chat with him, so I hope you enjoy this interview and just us bullshitting. So here's the first episode of the Munson Project, featuring my man, Bilbo Swaggins himself, Floor Gore.
So tell me, my man, what the hell you been up to? What's new with you?
All good, man. Just keeping busy, writing new music, releasing new music. Yeah, all good, man.
Okay, so let's
quarantine shit.
Yeah, right. Like I've been out of it for like 2 weeks now, and I'm kind of thankful. Not that I've been like going crazy. Like I enjoy, like the alone time, but it was nice to actually like be able to focus on stuff. So that was a perk of it. So,
yeah.
But so tell me about the new album, man. Like, so how's it different from any other Carnifloor album?
I think with this one I knew a bit more what I was doing, because the first one was just like, fuck it, let's experiment, let's try bring out an album and see how it turns out. So I just had like a bunch of songs. Actually I wrote half an album and the other half was just songs that I already had, so it just blended in and fine-tuned it a bit as the other songs, and then just released it as an album. But this one is a bit more thought through, so yeah, I choose a bit more carefully the riffs and what I actually wanted, because it also has a lot of different diverse stuff in there. Like it's not only it's mostly just brutal death metal and slam, but it also has like of hip-hop beats and stuff in there, because I really was thinking like, okay, what do I want to do with this album? Why am I gonna bring this album out anyway? Right,
yeah. Well, that's nice. You were totally able to like experiment and take your time with it, because that always helps. Like I kind of feel if you rush something, like you might have a chance of putting out a good product, or you might have a chance of just putting out a pile of shit. So it's nice, man. I'm really looking forward to it. I love what you're dropping a music video here soon, right?
Yeah, Monday.
Hell yeah, dude.
Looking forward to hear people's reaction to it, man, because it's really. I don't think a music video like this has been done in slam and brutal death, so really looking forward to see.
Dude, it's gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be like a Master P video, I'm hoping, right?
Something like that, yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Like
it's basically like modern trap music video mixed with a brutal death. Yeah, something like that.
That's badass, man, because you're kind of like you're doing something completely different than I kind of feel just the typical bullshit, where it's like a horror movie scene and then the band just jamming out in a basement or something. So like I like how you kind of managed to like make your own niche, like within the scene. Like you're basically like this is just my personal opinion. Like I picture you as like, a dude that could also fucking spit like 10 heavy bars, but then also create like a heavy ass death metal band. So like I like it, man. Like you're like the swag of slam, bro, and you just
Thanks,
you completely stick to what you are, man. You do it well. So that's why I enjoy it. Like you basically have a personality within yourself. I dig that, dude.
Thanks.
I dig that a lot. So when's it actually supposed to drop? Within the next couple of days?
The album or the video?
So we'll go both. When's the video, and then when's the album?
The video drops on coming Monday, 25th, and
Okay.
the actual album drops next month on the 20th.
Nice.
Yeah,
Is that going to be on Rotten Music as well?
Yeah, correct.
Very nice. Very nice, man.
Released by Rotten Music Monday, along with the video. The pre-orders go up as well. So I
Okay.
got some merch coming, and after that, I got more merch coming, but that's like in a later stadium, just to
Right.
keep everything interesting and not give everything away at the first go, you know?
Right. Yeah, you got to keep people's attention, you know, which is tough nowadays, man, because there's so much out there now that everybody's just, you know, hey, just a little everywhere, you know.
Everybody's taking the time to do new music now, man.
Yeah, it's nice, man. With even with all this quarantine bullshit, it's nice that we're getting a lot of good music out lately, and a lot of bands have like been taking this time to really like actually sit down and write good music, you know.
Yeah.
So I definitely think you got to take with the positive with the negative, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So is it really crazy over there right now? Like, what's the whole vibe?
Well, for here, I live in Germany now.
Okay.
Over here, it's getting milder, but you have to wear like a face mask when you're in public areas and stuff like that.
Right.
It's slowly reopening and everything, and it seems like people are caring less about it than they did before. So that sucks a bit, but
Yeah.
no, it's getting less strict. But at the same time, I'm also hoping that the borders are open from to Holland, but only if you have like a valid reason, and on top of that, you have to get like some kind of form from the government that shows that you actually live in Germany for when you're going to go back. And if you're longer than a certain period out of the country, you have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks again in your own home.
Jeez.
It's like, I don't know how they will force that, but
right.
if they find out that you don't do it, it's like a 25,000 euro fine. So I'm not taking a chance, you know.
Hell no, man. It's not worth it, you know.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
I hope that soon this shit will be over, because I'm really looking forward to go to Holland again and hang out with my friends and family over there. Because it's been like 3 months already, you know.
Yeah, that's a long time, man. That's a long time to be away, you know.
Yeah. But luckily we can do stuff like this, you know, just video chat with each other and
right. Yeah, man, because like it's kind of the same over here. Like everybody, like you obviously have your crowd that, you know, wants to stay strict to the rules and just kind of protect everybody, and then you have you know, your people out there like just like to say some bullshit just to say some bullshit, you know. But like, yeah, it's pretty much the same over here, man. It's crazy. I was slowly reading this article in Malaysia, man. They were like like you weren't allowed to go outside at all. Like you couldn't exercise outside. You couldn't walk your dogs outside. Like it was pretty strict in the beginning, you know. So like, I'm kind of thankful that like it hasn't been crazy like that, you know, because it could always be a lot worse, dude. You know, it could be a lot worse.
Definitely, but we should take it not serious, you know, because when everybody starts doing all the shit again, it's only going to delay everything. And let's be honest, everybody wants to go out to bars and go to shows again. Right?
Yeah, everybody just wants that normalcy in your life, you know. And like, I've never honestly wanted to shake somebody's hand as much as I do now. Like, it's just that it's like you kind of miss that weird human contact, you know. Like even when you see your friends, like you want to hug them or body slam or whatever, and you can't do that now, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just it's weird because it's kind of like even if you're watching something on TV and you totally see like anybody hug, you're just kind of like deep down you're like, ooh, that's not good, you know. It's just weird now, man. It's just weird. It's a weird time we're living in, you know. But so when do you think we're gonna get back to like actually playing shows and stuff? Because I heard they put out like a bunch of weird guidelines, no moshing, you know.
I'm not sure
nothing like that.
But I think around the end of the year it would be nice if it would be starting again. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it's all going to be just next year, just to be sure. You know? But I don't know. Maybe it's also certain countries that are going to be like, yeah, okay, we start doing it this year, or we start doing it next year. But yeah, I don't know. But definitely not anytime soon, man.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to take people a lot just to feel just safe to be in crowds again, and then with all the roles, it's you're obviously going to have people backlashing against it and kind of not going out, but it's I'm hoping it's going to have their perks where like everybody's been in locked down for so long that a lot more people would be able and willing to come out. You know, like even if it's bands you don't like, you just want to be out and around people and just kind of have that ultimate freedom you've been lacking.
Yeah, I think
So
it will be really positive actually, because so many people just will come anyway to any show.
oh
And
yeah, man.
that will be the plus point of all this shit.
Yeah, because it'll hopefully open new doors for people that haven't really been into different music, and now they're like, well, I went to a show and it was a great experience. So so what's in store for like Korpse and shit? Are you guys discussing a new album at all?
Yeah, we're almost done actually.
Oh, nice. It's good news, dude.
Working on it. Yeah, we've been working on it for quite some time already. But yeah, of course, it's also going slow. We just had a lot of
Right.
things like that we had to take care of first, and now all the mixing and mastering is done, and we're just waiting on the final touches on the artwork. And we
Nice.
just have to do all the digital stuff like making merch and making the layout, and send it to our to the Flaming Arts Agency. Like they are our management at the moment, and they will
Okay.
send it to the label. So there's still like these different stages it has to go through, but
Right.
hopefully not long anymore. I really hope.
Yeah.
But
Dude, it's
never know
that
with
that
these things.
yeah, that waiting process is the worst, man. Like
Yeah. It's
that, 'cause
simply writing the music, man.
yeah, man, like you write the music, you go in the recording studio, then it's like 6 months before you even really start going. It's hard to be patient, but
Yes.
that's dope, dude. So how'd you end up like uh linking up with Korpse? Like how'd you become their guitarist?
Actually, they their first guitarist just quit or something, and then this was like 2014, I think. And then
Right.
they were also just starting out with the first album, and they did a couple shows, like 5 or something. And then obviously they were searching for a new guitar player, and I didn't even knew that they were looking for somebody, because I just discovered them on YouTube. Like, oh, this is actually fucking sick band from Holland.
Right, yeah.
But there was like a promoter in Amsterdam, and she had contact with Mart, our old bass player.
Okay.
She told him to contact me because she saw my Carnifloor stuff when I just had like the first EP out or something. But I did a lot
Right.
of live shows, and this woman also organized some shows for me. So yeah, we got the contact, and then they just I think I was in Iceland at the time because I was doing a tour with Carnifloor and my other black metal band at the time.
Okay.
Not in it anymore. But then they wrote me like, "Hey, would you like to come audition for us?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that's fucking cool."
Yeah, man.
And we just did run rehearsal. Everything went well. I was like, "Yeah, okay. So want to play a show next week? Yeah, sure, let's do it." Yeah,
That's crazy how quick it happened, man. Just like that. Well, that's awesome, man. Because you guys are really solid dudes. You guys work well together. So
yeah,
it's kind of like destiny, dude.
yeah, I think so, man.
So what's one band that you played with that kind of surprised you about how good they were live? Do you have any band like that?
Probably, but I can't, from the top of my head, just think of something. I would say it was really fun to finally play with the guys from Extermination Dismember Man.
Oh yeah, dude.
We've been jamming these guys in the car like for quite some time, and was always when everybody was hyped about this, they just quit after the album. So we were like, "Fuck, we're never gonna play with these guys." And
Right.
they made a comeback, and we did 2 tours with them. So yeah, it all worked out. And the
That's
first show
awesome,
we
man.
actually ever played together was we were going to Vilnius in Lithuania, and then just next to that show, we got asked to come over to Belarus, which is like, I don't know, 5-6 hour drive from that country to play a
Wow.
show with Extermination there in their hometown. It was like, fuck yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And man, that was a fucking adventure because
Right.
Lithuania, it was like, okay, it's still Europe, and it was all, everything is super cheap there. Like you can go to the liquor store there, get a what is it, liter special crafted beer for like €2, and that's
Wow.
insane, man. So we were
That's
like,
super
fuck,
cheap,
okay.
man.
Yeah, it started there. Next thing we know, we took the bus from Lithuania to Belarus, and it was like crossing the borders from South to North Korea or something, because it was
Oh,
so
really?
strictly with drug dogs coming into the bus, and then you had to get out. They took your passport, it was gone, and then later you get it back. You get like 50 checks, and it was super crazy, man.
Dude, I
And
would have shit my pants, dude.
oh, we all
You
did.
know?
But then when we finally drove in there, there was like just I, I don't know how long. I think 2 to 4 hours of nothing. It was like
Just
the
waiting
boys,
around.
you know. And then there's
Jesus,
like
man.
randomly one bus station, but it's like, for who is this bus station? There's nothing and nobody here in the wild fucking area.
That's
Yeah,
crazy, man. It's like a ghost town, you know?
yeah, it was insane, man. And
That's
also
nuts.
super cold because it was also around January, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, Belarus, Eastern Europe, it's fucking cold, man. So when we finally dropped there in Minsk, we got picked up by Sergey from Relics of Humanity,
Okay.
and yeah, he just kind of showed us the way there and took us to the places we need to go, and yeah, it was all pretty chill. And then the show was fucking crazy, but after the
Yeah.
show, a lot of people came up to us and they wanted to say like how good of an experience it was for them, but nobody
Right.
spoke English. Everybody spoke Russian, so we're like, yeah, man, I guess.
Yeah, man.
That was
hilarious.
really crazy, man. And afterwards, we went all drinking with the guys from Extermination to some bar in the area, and it was just lots of fun, man. So that
Yeah,
was definitely a show that was really surprising.
that's awesome, man. Like I totally feel like those boys could definitely handle their drinking, man. You know?
They do, yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, like they kind of just like they just came out of nowhere, man. And I remember when they dropped their first album, and they just blew up, man. Like
Yeah.
it was some of the like the heaviest stuff I've ever heard, you know. But it was like it was very unique in its own way. Like it was simple, it was groovy, and it was just heavy. And like the exact same thing goes with Korpse. Like you guys don't go crazy, you don't go technical, you just like it's straight to your face. And live, dude, you guys are like, it's insane. Like whenever you guys played Pittsburgh, I still got people coming up and telling me like, yo, that was like the heaviest show I've ever been to. Like I was like, they're insane, man. Like I don't know what you want me to say. They just fucking write heavy ass music, you know.
That's fucking cool to hear, man.
Yeah, man. Everybody loved you. So you know, in the future, I would love to have you guys back. So that's definitely going to happen soon. But
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
so tell me how you got into guitar. Like what really influenced you to really like pick up the guitar?
I didn't. I
Nice.
wanted to play drums.
Oh, really? That's
I
crazy,
wanted to
man.
play drums, and then my parents said, "No fucking way, you're not getting a drum kit. Go play guitar." And I was like, "Yeah, okay."
I guess I'll do this.
In the end, I'm actually happy that I started playing guitar instead of drums, because every time I look at my drummer and see what's he carrying to the stage, I'm so happy that they just have like, okay, my amps, my guitars, and that's it.
Yeah, man. It's nuts. Like our drummer just he got one of those those rolling pads where it's like, and it's so much nicer now, man, because like we would have to bring, you know, the whole bass drum or the extra bass drum, and it's like you just get tired of hauling that shit around, man. You know, like I couldn't imagine, you know, and like half these dudes have like drum sets as big as our whole house, dude. I couldn't. No way, no way, no way, dude. You know, but that's crazy, man. And you just like you just picked it up naturally.
Yeah, actually I did. It was first like, okay, let's my parents were like, we buy an acoustic guitar just to see if you like it, and then like play with this practice book. I completed that and was like, okay, so let me start playing electric guitar, and then yeah, started off with this really cheap ass choir imitation thing, but yeah, it worked out, man. And then when I got my first job, started buying guitars, and had a lot of guitars over the years and selling them and buying new ones, and it's an ongoing process. At the moment, not so much anymore, because now I got my one favorite guitar, and every time I play something different, it's like, okay, this is cool, but it doesn't play as nice as that one, you know. So I'm always getting back to that one, unfortunately. But,
yeah. I mean, if it's comfortable, man, you know, like,
yeah,
why replace it, you know? So.
Well, I guess it's a guitar thing. You just constantly want to have new guitars.
Oh yeah, man. It's like I have a buddy that he has so much musical equipment, man, but he doesn't play in bands and stuff, but he just like he has all this shit, and I'm like, dude, like join a band if you're gonna have all this stuff. And he just loves collecting it, man. He just loves getting a new guitar and like trading it with somebody and then working on it. So I mean, I guess we all just love collecting stuff at the end of the day, you know. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty crazy. I completely started out. I wanted to be a drummer as well because everybody wants to beat on shit. It looks cool, you know. And like when I heard Devourment's album, I was just like obsessed with double bass. I was like, dude, you can play me like a Nirvana song, and I'm gonna put double bass in it. Like I don't. That's just how I am, you know. But like,
the way it is.
Yeah, and I was terrible at it, Floor. So I gave that up pretty quickly. And like, I remember I had it in my college dorm, dude, and we just basically like had these small rooms, and I had this girl that lived across the street that was like a bartender or across the hallway, and dude, like this girl would get home at like maybe 2 to 4 in the morning, and dude, I would get up early and just start like beating the shit out of these drums, dude. I felt so bad because this girl would like storm in my apartment like half alive and half drunk. She'd be like, "You gotta turn the fucking drums down." So like I totally felt bad because I was just like, I'm just ruining this girl's life and I'm not that good at it. So I ended up leaving it at a buddy's house, and they ended up starting a band, and that's how I got on vocals. Was just kind of fucking around with them, you know. So it's just crazy, that whole transition, you know.
Yeah.
It's wild. So yeah. So I got a couple questions for you. I'm just gonna pop off.
Of course, man.
And these are all from the internet, so they're gonna be super fucking weird, dude. So I just want you to be ready for this, because
I'm used to that.
Internet people. Yeah, exactly. So. All right, so I'm going to start with, what has been your favorite memory this year?
My favorite memory this year?
Yeah, well, we'll do 2 years from now, because this has kind of been a crazy year, I guess, already, you know?
So, wait, you want to know my memory from this year and from 2 years ago?
We'll do 2 years ago.
All right.
What was your best memory 2 years ago?
2 years ago, 2018. I'm just quickly looking at posters because that's some time ago, you know. 18. I think that was when, wasn't that also when we did the US, when we came to your house, actually?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Or is that even longer ago?
Dude, it might have been, but I kind of feel you're right, though. I'm pretty sure that's when you guys toured.
Could be. I think that year was definitely a good year. Like next to the US tour and meeting all you guys, it was super awesome. But I also think that was a year that we did a lot of barbecuing with the band. Just because
Yeah.
we had like Martin's house or the house from his parents. His mom would go away for some time, and the house is just super big with a fucking nice backyard. So we were
Oh, really?
grilling there 24/7 and just drinking beers, playing some shows in between, and then just recovered there. It's like our spa moment, you know.
Right.
I think
That's-
that was definitely one of the nicest things of that year. Uh, yeah, probably that, man. And then I think around the end of the year, I moved to Germany, so that was also a big step.
Yeah.
Those are good memories, man.
Yeah, man. So has your move to Germany been good?
Yeah, it's been alright. Actually, think right now I've been living in Germany for 2 years, so it definitely was the end of 2018 that I went there. And yeah, since then just had some jobs here and there. Still in Holland actually, because it's just 30 minutes drive to the border from here. So that's
Right.
the German isn't that perfect yet, so I didn't really want to get the job here yet, or I'm not even sure if I could. So
Yeah.
I just go over the border and just do some stuff out there, man. And
Oh, that's
then
awesome, dude.
since this year, I quit all my jobs because I saved enough money to go on for a while, and I just started doing mixing and mastering full time. So just building up my own studio, getting in touch with a lot of bands and projects to just work on and get my name out
Right.
there. Because the ideal thing, of course, is that after a while, I don't have to go back to like a certain job and then can keep doing this and setting up my actual business with the government and stuff like that.
Right.
Till now it's like bit of weird moment because I'm home all the time. But
Yeah.
I'm keeping busy. Like I'm doing a lot of shit, doing a lot of online courses as well, learning every day for mixing and stuff. So that's good. And I got a couple clients, so that's always
Hey,
good.
man, that's awesome. So has this kind of been always a plan of yours, or is it just like recently within the last couple of years you've been like, this is kind of what I want to do?
Yeah, it was always like I knew you're not gonna make money from music anymore. It's not like
True.
that. Then I was thinking like, okay, what is a way to make money with doing music? And I figured out just producing, mixing, mastering. That's probably one of the few ways to do it. And
Right.
of course, it's also coming in really handy to be able to mix all your own stuff. And then I already started learning to record from home and stuff, just because I recorded all the guitar parts for every album I ever did from home. Never really went into a professional studio. So it keeps getting better, of course. And at some point,
Oh, yeah.
okay, I'm just gonna do the whole thing as well, and make everything sound better and my mixes. And it's also cool because you know exactly what you want.
Exactly.
Instead of describing that to somebody else who might not totally get what you're after.
Because it's hard to transfer that, man, like that idea you have to somebody else. Like it's very hard.
It's also, you don't want to sound like everybody else, but then it's like, I want the snare from that band, I want the guitar tone from that band, we want that from that band, and but then in the end it's like, oh, but it totally doesn't sound like that band that I want it to sound like.
Doesn't sound like anything I pictured, but it's tough, man. Is it hard learning like mixing and mastering? Is it like an alien thing to you still?
Well, there are some basic things that you just have to learn, and from that is just experimenting, man. Like, it takes time to master this kind of stuff.
Right.
But it's not impossible. It just takes a shitload of time.
Yeah, and you basically like have to consistently learn and like you basically gotta like I don't know if this is bullshit, but you gotta like modify your hearing almost to hear everything. You know.
Like you start noticing like way more different frequencies and stuff like that, and like just in the whole spectrum. Like before, it's like, oh, where would in which frequency range would this note be? And you think,
Right.
yeah, I don't fucking know. And I was like, oh yeah, it might be somewhere over there between the 2 and 4K or more in the low end. So
Right.
yeah, you start picking up all those things. Also because you know where you need to change things.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think now that you've learned like this side of it, do you think it's going to help you write in the future? Like, has it kind of opened new doors to different ways of writing, like where you would be like, I would write this, but now I'm going to add this in to accent this.
Not necessarily. Like I'm always thinking of how to make things sound better, and the only way is that to just keep listening to it and keep listening to other stuff as well. To think like, oh, but they did it like that. What if I do that, but then in a different way? And because everything has been done already, man. Like everything is
Yeah.
a copy or an imitation of anything, and that's just the way it is. Nothing is original anymore. But yeah, it's just the way to do this is just taking something and make it your own.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. I think it's harder to do something different now as a band, not necessarily like as a musician to do something different. I feel it's harder. I'm trying to put, okay. All right, hear me out. I would say it's harder for a band to do something different, but then also have their fans accept it. You know, like an example would be Visceral Disgorge just put out that new album a couple months ago, and there was a lot of backlash to it because a lot of people didn't feel it completely sounded like their older album, you know, which is, I kind of feel it was a bullshit cop-out. Like, if you're going to hate them because they don't sound like, you know, an original album, it's like, why even be a fan of that band? Because a band needs to grow, and they're going to grow. You know, you play guitar for 12 years, you're going to get better, and you're going to do different techniques, you know? So, like, I don't know. I just think, I think people get caught in the past too much, you know?
Yeah, the thing is, people always want to have new stuff from bands, of course, and they want to grow, but not too much, because then they get uncomfortable and be like, yeah, but it's not the same as the last album. Like, no, it's not supposed to be the same as the last album. Because
exactly.
why would you make a different album then?
Right. That's exactly how I feel, and it's like, like you can't have the band put out the same album after, you know, after 8 albums they still sound the same. You know, a lot of bands, they can do that, but they put their own little flair on it where it doesn't change it too much, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. So what I'm gonna ask another question here. So other than being a guitarist and you know, just an overall badass, what other talents do you possess that not a lot of people know you do? Like, do you juggle or anything like that?
Juggle, no. What am I good at? That's a good question. No, actually, I also do graphic design.
Okay.
So, like, I suck at drawing, but when you give me like a shitload of pictures, I can blend them in together and make something nice of it.
Okay.
Like that, for example. So I'm also doing like all the layout shit myself for all my bands, and do all the social media campaign stuff, and making all the banners, websites, whatever, that kind of stuff. So
right.
That's another skill of mine. I try to do vocals in Carnifloor, so that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. I'm not that proud of it, to be honest, but it's just like I also record the bass for Carnifloor, so I'm not a bass player, but it's like it has to be done because that's the whole point of doing this one-man band that I want to do myself. So like it's not the best, but it's decent, I guess, and luckily it progresses over the time. So that's
well, that's awesome, dude. You know, like do you think you've been getting better at vocals, or?
Yeah, look, the thing is, when I listen back to the earliest stuff that I did, I'd be like, fuck, I can't even believe I brought this out.
Dude, I completely feel the same way. I'm like, this is straight garbage, bro, you know?
But thing is, like, I also don't play that many shows with Carnifloor, so I don't practice it that often. But luckily, when I start recording again, it doesn't get worse than before. So it's like it kind of stays on the same level because I know, like, oh yeah, from the last time it went a bit like this.
Right.
Yeah, and then it improves a bit more. But now I'm also doing vocals in another band from another project, and that also gets me off my ass to practice it more and
Right.
more things with that, you know.
Oh yeah, man. Like I practice at least. I try to once a week, but I do go a couple weeks without practicing. Then I go to band practice, and I'm like, dude, you sound like a fucking horse's ass, man. Like you don't even sound right. But then other days, man, I'll just have it where I haven't been doing it, and then I go in, and it clicks, you know. So, I mean, everybody needs to practice a lot more, but you know, it's hard sometimes, you know. And then if you're like a one-man band, you're just kind of like, well, I'm going to do this now, and then, you know, I might not touch it for a few weeks, you know.
Longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. But as long as it's working out, then it's all fine, you know.
Do you ever think about, like, do you ever ponder the idea of doing like a Carnifloor like live show? Has that crossed your thought?
What you mean if I do live shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do live shows actually.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I played I think 3 or 4 tours and some smaller, some random shows here and there. And also try to a lot of times when we go somewhere with Korpse, try to get Carnifloor on there as well if it's possible. So yeah, I always try to keep doing those shows. Last year I haven't really done anything, I think, but I think the 3 years before it was just also playing more than
right.
enough, I think. Because next to the Korpse shows, it was also like, fuck, it's a shitload of shows a year.
Yeah.
So also need some time to stay at home.
Oh yeah, dude. That's a lot going on, man. You know, that's a lot. All right, so I have another question for you, my man. If you had a millionaire decide to fund all your expenses paid for a 1-week trip, where would you go and what would you do? So if a guy was like, listen, dude, I have a shit ton of cash. I'll pay for 1 week for you to go anywhere. Where would you go and what would you do?
That's a good question. Let's see.
I'm putting you on the chopping block today, boy. I don't know, man.
On top of that, I would like to go to Mexico, man. That would be cool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like I've never been there. It seems like a cool country. And just hire some fast cars and drive around. Either that or go to, I don't know, some white beach somewhere.
Yeah.
To Aruba and watch like the flamingos in the beach, man. That would be cool.
Yeah. Dude, I've always wanted to go to Mexico as well. Like, I've always wanted to check out like the Aztec and the Mayan pyramids and shit.
Yeah.
Like it just looks crazy, you know. And like Bermuda and shit like that would be beautiful, you know. I just couldn't even imagine like living on those places. Like you're just living in heaven your whole life, you know.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
man. It's like my cousin of mine. He actually is like a diving instructor in the Maldives.
Oh, really?
Right now not because of the whole virus and nobody can go there and shit. But
right.
I'll just see pictures and it's always blue there, man. The sea is always blue. It's always nice and think like, fuck, you're like constantly on holiday, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's insane, man. Like my wife's dad was contemplating about like moving down to Hawaii, and I couldn't even imagine that, man. Like just waking up, going to the beach, really not having any worries in the world, you know. You're just chilling all the time, you know.
Yeah. But one destination that I actually did thought of that I really would like to go to is to go to Bali. That would be really cool. And just hang out there, get an all-in house, and just chill, like enjoy.
Oh yeah, because don't they have like that paint fest or something where like everybody's out in the street and everybody just throws paint at each other and they're all covered. I don't know if that's the same place, but
Not sure. I don't know.
yeah. But Bali would be sick, man. I've always wanted to, like, if I can go anywhere and have some just paid for, I've always wanted to go to Egypt, man. I would just love to, like, just go there, because, like, I've been completely fascinated by it ever since I was, like, a little kid, you know? Like, I didn't talk to girls. I was, like, in the library just reading about dead people, you know? Like,
checking out mummies and pyramids.
Yeah, man. I was like, oh, this is the cool stuff, man. Fuck that girl, you know?
So,
like,
but you're also a fan of Nile, then?
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, when I heard them in high school, I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, this is the heaviest shit in the world, man.
Likewise,
like,
man.
Dude, they were so, like, so fast, like, in the beginning. Like, they've kind of slowed down now, but they're still technical. But, like, back in the day, dude, it was just, like, being bludgeoned in the head, you know?
Yeah, man, it's, like, fucking insane. I love Nile.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So what's your favorite Nile album?
I think Black Seeds of Vengeance.
Okay, and I would have to say Annihilation of Wicked, but Black Seed of Vengeance is another one up there, dude. Those are probably like they're two all-time albums for me, at least. You know, those two.
Yeah. Also, Ittifalik, I like very much.
Okay.
That one is also sick, because I think that's like the first one that I heard. But Black Seeds of Vengeance is just because the track is on there, and I fucking love the track.
So good, man. When I played with them, it was probably like 6 years ago now. But it was nice, man, because like they completely played, but they did like just a sound check, and they played for like an hour and a half straight, dude. So it was like two bands that opened it actually got to see the whole set before anybody else, and it was incredible, man. Like, and then like just talking to those dudes, like they're so smart, and they're like down to earth, and it was amazing, man. It was like on my bucket list for years, and then like when we got on the show, I just like lost my mind. Like you totally could have thought I got like a record deal from like some fucking crazy record label, you know, but it was just like that was my childhood band, man, you know. It's insane.
Also, this was also a really, really cool moment. I think it was in 2014 or something that they did a tour with Suffocation, and they played Dead Feast. And that was the first time I played Dead Feast, when I was playing with Fermented Masturbation. And Nile and Suffocation, they were the headliners of that day. And at the end, they played Black Seeds of Vengeance with everybody from Suffocation on guest vocals. And man, I was drunk as fuck, but that shit gave me goosebumps, man. That was insane.
Like, I remember when they played that song, dude, in that one part where it's just like, Black Seeds of Vengeance. It just hits so hard, man. Like, I just don't understand it, you know? Like,
it's fucking bizarre, man.
Yeah, like, I just like them because, like, their live shows are just incredible. Like, they really put you in Egypt, you feel, because they always have, like, those weird instrumentals before and after the songs, and that's what I've always loved about them. Like, every time you get a Nile album, you're put into, like, a different time period, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And, like, their lyrics, like, I remember when I got Annihilation of the Wicked, I, like, the lyrics are fucking books, man. Like, and they're so in depth. So like they've always been like a main influence when I'm writing, is because like, how do these dudes like do that, you know? And I just kind of like, if I'm writing about a topic, I go a little too in depth sometimes, you know. But whatever.
I've seen that documentary that they were doing or recording. What was that album called again, with Carnifloor on there?
Okay.
Anyway, they were filming the recording, and then Carl puts out the lyrics, and he printed it on like the fucking Egypt paper kind of stuff. And it was like, yeah, you have to be like total into the whole thing, because then you get even better results. I was like, fuck, man, this guy really takes his shit serious.
Yeah, man. Just putting it out there on papyrus and shit, you know? That's crazy. That's nuts, man. He's insane. And like after Dallas left, I was kind of nervous, dude. I can't even lie to you. Like I was like, this is either gonna be good or bad, dude. You know, but I have to say they kill it still, man. Like the new dudes are pretty good live. So
first time I saw him with that new guy was some Brutal Assault, and man, it was so fucking good. It was like, okay, different guy, but he fucking kills it, man.
yeah, like he does the part, man. And like the new stuff's it's actually really good. I enjoyed the new album. I don't know if you've listened to the new album yet.
Not. I don't think. I think I haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah, I heard like 2 or 3 songs off it, and I was like, this is pretty good, you know. So, so what was like the best festival and the craziest festival you've ever played? Because I know over in Europe you guys have insane festivals like every day. So.
Well, not every day. We have
right.
But, I have to say Dead Feast, man. Dead Feast is and always ever will be the best slam brutal death festival in Europe for me.
Yeah.
I've been coming there since the first time I played there 6 years ago, and since then I've been coming there every year, and it's just such a good party, man. Because it's like you have the stage. It's outdoor now because it's like in a youth kind of center house, whatever. But they turned the stage, because first it was inside and they turn it outside now. And then you have this big asphalt kind of parking area where, they just have like all the audience. It's only limited till, I think, 1,000 people or something, maybe more. I'm not sure, but not that big.
Okay.
And you have like the camping area right next to it. So, it's not like big festivals that you have to walk 30 minutes from your tent to the stage. It's just next to it, man. And to top it off, there's like 5-minute walks. There's like a fucking pool area, like a swimming pool. Everybody can just go in there for €2. Bring your own beer. You can get snacks there, and everybody, all the bands as well, just hanging out and spending there and just doing stupid shit. You know.
Oh, that's amazing. Awesome, man. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a great time, dude. You know, and is it like a whole weekend thing? Like, obviously, because everybody's camping, you know?
It's like 3 or 4 days. I think 3 days, but the pre-party already starts like a day earlier.
Right. That's, I mean, you got to get that pregame in, dude. So, you know.
And like, the camping area is also just so fun, because you just walk around, and if you're bored, you're just going to walk and you find somebody, because everybody's there. Everybody's whatever, hanging out, smoking weed, drinking, or doing some beer pong or whatever.
Right.
Just if you're bored, just go for a walk. There will be a party somewhere.
Yeah, man. You just got to find it. That's it. You know. That's awesome, man. So.
If you ever get the chance, go there, man. And if you try to play there as well, man.
I would love to. Like, I'm hoping within the next 2 years, I would love to get us over there. And even if we don't play, like, I would just love to come over and like hang out with all you guys, you know, because it would just be an experience in itself, you know. But I mean, if I had the chance to play there, I would. But
you know, when you're planning to come, man, I'll try to hook you up with anything. It would be
great. Dude, because it's basically the same thing. Like, everybody in America, our Graceland is going over to Europe, and like vice versa. You know, like it's nuts. But yeah, I would love to go. So, so where do you want to see yourself in like 5 years, dude?
Is this a job interview?
It is. It is now.
Okay. I'm hoping to own like a bigger studio, because right now, well, this is my studio, so just one home studio. But I'm planning to get like an actual big ass shed where I can put in like a recording room for drums and vocals and whatever, and just have a huge place to get bands over as well, and that they actually can record here. Right now, I can record some basic guitar and bass and vocals, but yeah, not like a drum kit or something, and yeah, so something like that. And
Okay.
of course, play a shitload of shows, keep doing what I'm doing. I think not that much have to change right now, except just yeah, growing my studio. That's my main focus, man.
Just
And then
kind of
of
staying
course bringing
consistent,
out
you
more
know?
music always. But the main
Yeah.
studio.
That's awesome, dude. Like, I give you props for doing the whole studio thing, because not only is it expensive as fuck, man, it's hard to do, you know. And are you having any trouble like getting clients? Are you getting more clients?
It just it comes and goes. Like sometimes I have suddenly a lot of clients at once, and then I don't have anything for a couple of weeks, for example. But I
Okay.
use that time to learn and build up my portfolio with other stuff. You know,
Hell yeah.
it's a struggle progress, but I think once you get like a solid base, then people will come back as well, and yeah, then it should be a bit easier, and also your name gets out more there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it should be alright, but it's just gonna take time. You know, it's not gonna happen overnight.
Yeah, you're just basically building your portfolio at this point, right?
And the shitty thing now is like um, you can't go out and meet people and talk to people about anything. 'Cause now it's
Right.
like yeah, just writing people on social media like, hey, I see you're doing a new album. You got already got somebody,
Right.
you know, and that's different than when you're at a show and hanging out with people and just interact, you know, because now it's like you just see a screen and that's it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So how do you feel this whole bullshit's gonna change us? Like, do you think it's gonna be easier for people? Do you think it's gonna be a lot weirder? Do you think it's gonna be more strict? So where do you see us going forward? Do you think we're gonna go back to normal, or there's gonna be some more strict regulations and guidelines?
Probably will be some regulations. I think that whenever you're gonna do a show or organize a show, that there will be way more security to check on like how shit is going and that you follow the rules. But yeah, I hope that at some point we just get over it and I don't know that we just find a way to make it work, you know. But I think it's not
Yeah.
going to be directly getting back to normal, but we have to start somewhere, you know.
Yeah, it at least there's a light now, man. Like you kind of feel that it's gonna everything's slowly coming back. You know, where like in the beginning you really didn't know what was going on. You really couldn't get any information on what's going on. So like I do feel now where we're at, you do kind of see a little light at the end of the tunnel, you know.
Yeah,
And I personally hope it like opens up people's eyes that, you know, health and sanitation are pretty important, you know, when we have this fucking many people on a rock, you know. So, but I don't know. I just want to get back to hanging out with my friends and playing shows, and
yeah, exactly, man.
I mean, I'm happy that we do have like this technology, and like, you know, I'm able to like chat with people, but it's not the same, man. You know. But
No, unfortunately not. But it's the way it is, man. And right now we just have to make the best of it.
that's it, you know. That's it. So what? Couple more things, and then we'll totally wrap this up. But what album recently has really sparked your interest? Like what album have you felt has been really good?
Definitely the new Beneath the Massacre. That one fucking rips, man. Like Fear
That band's
Miner,
insane, dude.
I love it. I've been waiting for that album like for so long.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's been like 7 years or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, they put out the last one they put out was that red covered one. I can't remember the name of it. I just remember it had a red cover.
Yeah.
But it was really good. Everything they put out, dude, is like super solid, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy you know, they're still doing it. But so other than Beneath the Massacre,
Just a couple of days ago, started listening to a new Gldchn, and that one is fucking sick, man. I love it. The first one they brought out really got me. It was like, okay, fuck, this is just cool, real Italian death metal.
Right.
Once after that, I kind of lost it a bit, but this new one was again like they put like little new elements in there. What we just talked about, like when the band they have to do something newer, but not too much.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They did it fucking right, man. So that album, it's sick. It's constantly on repeat. What else? New Body Count album is cool.
Yeah. I totally watched the video for one of their songs, and I was really surprised, man. Ice-T's out there killing it, dude.
He's the man.
He's nuts, bro. He just don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
He's like, yo, I'm on this Law and Order, but I'm also fucking in this fucking band here. I dig it, dude. It works for him.
On top of that, I used to be a pimp.
Yeah, dude, like a badass, bro. But the new Evangelic, yeah, I would have to agree with you. I heard the one single, and then I ordered it, and I haven't listened to the entire album yet, so because I'm waiting for it to come in the mail, and I like to like pop it in and jam it, and then kind of blah blah blah, because it's probably going to be on the next quarantine session, where I review albums, blah blah blah. But because I love the whole theme about it, how it's like the ancient Sumerians and shit. So I love when bands do different shit like that. So, and they're super talented, which is nice.
Definitely, man.
So what band would you want to tour with? If you could pick two bands to tour with, who would they be?
If I can choose from anything, or just like in slam in general?
Anything, dude. Yeah, you just a wide range, dude.
I would fucking tour with Body Count. That would be sick.
Hell yeah, dude.
Not because it's my favorite band or anything, but I just think it would be fucking funny to hang out with Ice-T.
Yeah, just the experiences you would get in the stories, just from hanging out with Ice Cube and his weird ass wife. What's her name? Coco or something like that. Dude, yeah, but yeah, that'd be sick.
And then Dirt Nasty, man.
Okay, I like it. It's a variety, man.
Yeah.
If I could tour with anybody, I would probably pick like some weird ones, man. I would probably go with like fucking Judas Priest, and there's this band that's like real folky. It's like the only folk band I really like. They're called River Wireless. So I would probably do that just because it would bring in such a weird crowd, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It would be very weird, It'd be weird. But listen, man, I would love to do this again. And I greatly appreciate you taking the time and bearing with me with all this Zoom shit and coming on here to talk. So
Definitely.
No worries, man. So tell the people where they can find you and your music, and yeah.
Okay, so mostly Facebook, Bandcamp. Can find everything on there. If you come to my personal accounts, you will see links to every band that I'm doing. Right now, the new Carnifloor album comes out next month. New Korpse album, hopefully somewhere this year. Can't say when, because we don't know.
Right.
We're writing a new full-length, or the first full-length album for Gldchn. It's a project where I'm doing vocals with a friend of mine from Saudi Arabia and a bass player from Russia.
Oh, wow.
And I just did Foes. It's a grindcore project me and the drummer from Korpse did. It's called Foes with the X's in between. It's fuck off, eat shit. And
dude.
Just brought out an EP and we did it together with some members from Teeth Grinder. If you like Last Days of Humanity kind of grind, then that's totally for you.
Hell yeah, man! I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. It's on my list, dude. I just haven't gotten to it, but I will definitely check it out. And once again, man, I greatly appreciate you coming on and just bullshitting with me and letting the people know what's up. So
Nice.
I'm really looking forward to the video coming out Monday and the new album. And I just wish you the best, dude, in everything you do. You're a monster and you kill it, dude. So I appreciate you coming on and just taking the time with me. And yep, we'll totally do it again, man.
Yeah, anytime, man. Let's do it with some time. Hopefully in real life would be cool.
Yeah, fucking fingers crossed. But well, all right, brother. Well, enjoy your rest of your day. I will. I'll let you know when this goes up and shit, and we'll totally get you rolling. So
sounds good.
All right, brother. I appreciate it, man. You take care. All right.
Take care. You too.
All right, brother. Later.